Hi, welcome to Talking Books and Stuff, the program that talks all about books and writing and stuff. Here's your host, Dennis Rimmer.
Hello again, welcome back to Talking Books and Writing and Stuff, your genial host from somewhere in Austria. It's DR the Book Guy here. We're talking with Bennie, Bennie of Bennie and the Viking Jets. She's on the Viking Atla, the program director. But I'm going to ask Bennie, first of all, when and where you raised and all that kind of background stuff.
Yeah, sure. Well, you can probably tell by the accent that I am definitely from England. Yes, I'm born in Cheshire in the UK, and I now currently live in Southampton on the south coast of England, as this was the gateway to the ocean ships.
And when did you first get interested in being a seagoing person?
Well, actually, my mother was an entertainer and my father was a purser at sea, so I very easily went into the ocean liner entertainment business, so right from the very young age of 18.
Now, before that, when you were growing up, did you have books, music, films, TV shows that you liked that maybe set you on this course?
Yeah, well, I was from a very musical background in particular, you know, films like The Sound of Music, and then growing up, of course, with The Love Boat. I mean, all of these different influences and set you your visions off to travel the world and enjoy the tours and the shore excursions and the entertainment, and this is where I felt I should be.
Now, you said you started when you were 18. What was your very first seagoing job?
Well, actually, I began my work at 18 in hotels in Europe, actually, various different islands like Mallorca, Menorca, Lanzarote, Costa del Sol, Tunisia. So I worked in the hotels first, and then my first ship was a Thompson company, Thompson Emerald, and this ship where I was 21 when I joined my first ocean ship.
And your job, your actual role then was?
I've got to remember, this is like over 20 years ago. This was a entertainment coordinator position. Yes.
And your job now is program director for Viking. We're on the Viking Atla, which is a Norse goddess of the sea, Atla. Yes. And describe what you do. How does I'm from radio, program director decides what goes on the air. What do you decide?
So my main responsibility is the shore excursions program, the onboard events as well, and of course any offshore requests from our guests. So I am the main coordinator and liaison, so I think my priorities are to ensure that everybody is having a fantastic time.
And we're with Bennie from Viking Cruises, and this is not an advert for Viking, but it soon will be. So you've been with the on-board ship business for, like you said, over 20 years. What do you like about it?
Oh, I love everything, I really do. You couldn't do this sort of work in this line of hospitality and travelling if you didn't really love your position. So I think meeting people is a big part of this. That's all the different guests, all our passengers, all our crew, meeting different cultures, learning about different cultures. This is definitely one of the best things. Like, I'm a people person, and of course this travel. I mean, how can you not fall in love with these places that we travel to, and this the way we combine this, I just think it is amazing, really.
Now, with your ocean cruise career, you went, I am assuming, everywhere. Is that right?
I've tried to, I went around the world twice, actually 2.5 times, but predominantly my time was in Europe and the Caribbean islands as well. But yes, I was very lucky enough to do 2.5 world cruises.
Any favorite spots along the way?
Loads. I mean, docking in Sydney Harbour, there's nothing like docking right through arriving in Sydney, with the Opera House and the Sydney Bridge. This was really incredible. Asia, I very like personally very much all of these different areas like Vietnam and Malaysia and Thailand. The Greek islands also very, very nice. Santorini, Mykonos, and also, Europe itself is fabulous. There's so many different styles of countries, and then Caribbean, Barbados, my favourite island.
And you switched from the ocean cruises, obviously, to what we're on now, which is a river cruise. What prompted the change?
I think actually some personal things in life. I'd been 17 years on the ocean ship, so I had covered quite a lot. And when you get to where you want to be, you're there for a number of years. I didn't want to get, I suppose, old in my job and get too blasé. So I felt like I needed a challenge professionally, and also my personal life. I fell in love. So me and my husband, we met on the ocean ship, and then we decided to leave together, and a job that enables us to be home a little bit more, but also to travel and do what we love. And Viking River Cruises were able to provide this opportunity.
So that was my next question. I was going to ask, what is your rotation, your on and off kind of thing?
As a program director, I'm quite different because there is only one of me. So Viking have a fantastic ethos that really they don't want the program director to burn out, I suppose. So as you know, I will work morning to night. I don't take any breaks in the day, and I work every day of the week. So I tend to do 4 weeks on the ship and then maybe 2 weeks off. So you can have different rotations: 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So it's quite different and unique for the program director position. But for the crew on board, many of them we're able to provide a day off every 2 weeks, have some shift work in the days, and then after maybe 2 or 3 months they can take a 2-week break.
And I notice there's people here on board from just about everywhere, and everyone speaks at least 2 languages, which embarrasses me all the heck. I can barely speak English, let alone anything else. How about yourself?
Yeah.
What is your language skills, or what are they like?
Yeah, well, growing up and working in Spain, Spanish was probably my forte language, really. But now I don't speak fluently one other language, but I like to learn a lot of other languages, just keywords, and to show respect, really. So I've pretty much nailed every nationality on the ship, because I like to be able to do this with the crew and ensure that I can say hello and please and thank you. And of course, what the most important word is around the world is cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yes, and we have lots of that here, and I love it. And advice for travelers who were thinking perhaps of a river cruise, what would you suggest they maybe look into or research before they book a cruise?
I suppose itinerary is probably the most important thing, what appeals to them. For me personally, with Viking River Cruises, I always think the Rhine getaway and the Danube, what we're doing now, are 2 excellent itineraries to choose to start your travelling world in Europe. And I think key things when you're looking at this is just make yourself aware of what's required for travelling through the airports, especially nowadays. And also currency is very important. A top tip I would give is to really look at like bank cards and things, because bank cards aren't always so transferable out of the States into Europe. So if people have a private number that they use with their debit card, to always have these with them. So this can be a bit of a surprise to people. So I would always look into kind of the banking and also mobile phone access while you're overseas.
And what about people who are thinking, some of my listeners perhaps might want to be in the cruise ship industry? What kind of suggestions can you offer those folks?
If you're thinking about it, do it, is the best advice. The thing as well, I come across many people over my time in this industry that, maybe just do 1 or 2 seasons, just this opportunity to travel, and just to get that experience. It doesn't have to be like a long career. For me, I meant to do 1 or 2 seasons, and that was 22 years ago. So it can get very addictive, but, I would definitely say to anybody, try it for the experience, because you learn so much.
And back to your ocean days, or even the river cruise, what's the worst storm you ever went through?
I think it was like a Force 11, which is pretty much off the scale. This on the ocean ships, we often have the name of the ship written in big letters across the top of the ship, and this storm was so bad it ripped the name off the ship, like we were sailing around with literally no name. And obviously there are glasses and bottles smashing, chairs flying, computers falling off the desk. Yeah, it's been pretty bad.
And you're with Viking Cruise now. Give us an advert for Viking. Why should I, perhaps, for my next cruise, choose Viking?
Well, this company, they really are very personal. They make sure that everybody is travelling in comfort. This is a really big part of it, to make sure that you're well looked after and actually you feel comfortable, you feel at home. So we have great quality, we have a real good quality of everything we do, without this being pretentious, I suppose, because we just want everybody to feel comfortable and well looked after.
And just before we close, I was talking to the bartender the other day, and he said that in the last 20 years, this river cruise business seems to have gone, he said once, like 25 ships on the river. Now there's like 500, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. It really has expanded. Our CEO, Torsten Hagen, was one of the first to begin this. We have 69 riverboats now with our particular company. It's getting more and more popular. More rivers, not only more ships, more rivers are being now toured upon. We have broken out now into also Egypt and the Mississippi. We also operate in China, so the whole cruise industry on both the ocean and the river is just rocketed it, and that just proves why it's such a great way to travel. Everyone falls in love with it. It's a great way to see the world, and so it will just keep expanding.
And all us old guys now with nothing on our agendas to do love getting away and doing these kind of things. It's Bennie from Viking. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Thank you for visiting with us today. This is Talking Books and Stuff with Dennis Rimmer. Contact him at dennis@talkingbooks.tk. Thank you, and may all the good news be yours. Oh, and don't forget to check out his book, The Great Canadian Notebook, available across Canada and at amazon.ca.